like someone I used to know a long time ago. That smile on your face, the way you walk, and the sound of your voice, oh, it reminds me of her. Oh my God, could this be my sweet Caroline? Oh my God, could this be my sweet Caroline? Oh, I have not seen you in a while. It's been so many years. I woke up one morning and you were nowhere to be found. I cried, I wept, closed myself in my room, didn't speak to nobody for days. Caroline, darling, ooh, I've missed you so. Where have you been? Where have you been, Caroline? Oh, darling, I've missed you so. Where have you been? Caroline, darling, ooh, I've missed you so. Where have you been? It's been so long since I've seen your face. Oh, it's been so long. Got a ring on your finger. Tell me, does it mean what I think it means? Caroline, is he the reason you disappeared? Is he the reason you left me here? Oh, Caroline, Caroline, darling, I have missed you so. Caroline, darling, it has been so long. Caroline, it's been so long since I've seen you. Caroline, oh, darling, I've missed you so. Where have you been? Spadu, 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 bandendo da nova. Spadu, de, do, va blanc. Oh, Caroline, spadu, da, do, de, do, I've missed you so. Where have you been? Caroline, darling, I've missed you so. I've seen your face. I've missed you so, Caroline. And I see trees of green,
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, welcome to the Vice Chancellor's Excellence Awards in Teaching and Learning. Let's welcome your program directors for tonight, Dr. Mvunge and Ms. Tsipa Boy.
Good evening, Vice Chancellor, Professor Sakela Buhlungu, DVC Interim DVC Teaching and Learning, Professor Osode, DVC RPI, members of the executive, the deans, the deputy deans, and my beautiful acting TLC director, Professor Yulin Shela, and distinguished colleagues and other guests. My name is Natu, Uchezi, Uchalamba, Utenza, Ukabela, Ukotovu, Usaliwa. Yeah. It is a privilege
This quote encapsulates the essence of great teaching, colleagues, which goes well beyond mere transmission of knowledge to igniting curiosity, creativity, and a love of learning in students. Colleagues, at the very onset of this event, I would like us to acknowledge the profound impact teachers have on shaping minds and futures. As Nelson Mandela himself so eloquently put it, education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. Both the winners and the nominees of our Vice Chancellor's Excellence Awards embody this world-changing spirit, preparing and empowering our students to make a difference. Lastly, colleagues, there is apparently a famous proverb to the effect that in terms of impact, the influence of a good teacher can never be erased. It follows that a great teacher really never dies, for he lives on. Essentially, his life continues, the lives of his students. What an exceptionally privileged place great teachers occupy in human society. May their place never be taken over by AI. Colleagues, let's relax and enjoy the evening. Thank you very much.
Another round of applause for Professor Oswade. I will now call upon our interim director, Professor Sheila, to give us the acknowledgement and the purpose of the day. Thank you, Prof.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed. It's really my privilege as the Acting Director of Teaching and Learning to speak tonight to the purpose of these Excellence Awards. These awards are more than a moment of recognition. They are really a celebration of the very heart of our academic mission. At the University of Fort Hare, we believe that teaching is not only about transmitting knowledge, but also about inspiring, challenging, and transforming lives. And it's so nice, Professor Sodi, as you mentioned, about the teacher and how the teacher will live on in their students' lives. The Vice Chancellor's Excellence Awards gives us the opportunity to acknowledge those among us who embody this vision. And just to put a little bit of context, at the moment, we've got around 250 permanent academic staff members. And from those 250 academic staff members, these staff members are going to be recognized. Remember, we've got more staff members than that, academic staff members. I know I'm busy with e-learning progress, and so that goes with that. And who's going to be recognized tonight is really a very small handful of academics, and we hope that this will inspire our other academics in the institution to also strive to this excellence. The purpose of these Excellence Awards is really to honor excellence by recognizing these colleagues who go above and beyond their teaching practice, to promote innovation by really highlighting creative approaches and the use of technology and pedagogy that enhance student success, and then very importantly to foster the scholarship of teaching and learning by showcasing these practices that can be shared across our faculties and disciplines, and then to advance our institutional goals by aligning academic achievement with the university's mission of excellence, transformation, and social justice. Importantly, to inspire others, to remind us all that teaching is the very core of who we are as a university community. And in preparation for this evening's purpose of excellence, I really went and I did some research about who is somebody that can inspire us. Somebody on the African continent, but somebody that we don't often refer to. And I came about Professor Wangari Maathai of Kenya. Did you know that she was the first woman to receive the Nobel Prize in 2004? And she was one of the first professors in East and Central Africa. She was awarded her PhD and later became a professor in East and Central Africa. She was not content with personal achievement. She used her knowledge to find the Green Belt in 1977 by mobilizing thousands of women to plant trees. On the surface, this was an environmental initiative, but in reality, it was an act of decolonization. She restored African ecological wisdom, challenged exploitative systems, and empowered women whose voices had long been silenced. Her story speaks directly to our theme of AI and decolonization. Now you're going to wonder, how are we putting this together? Just as Wangari reclaimed indigenous knowledge and placed it at the center of global conversations on sustainability, so too must we as academics rethink how we teach, research, and engage with the world being reshaped by artificial intelligence. If we do not, AI risks becoming yet another colonizing tool. But if we approach it critically and creatively, it can become a powerful ally in the decolonizing of knowledge, enabling us to amplify African perspectives, empowering our students, and create more just and inclusive learning environments. By embedding all these information within our annual Teaching and Learning Conference, we really affirm that excellence in teaching is not an add-on, but a central pillar of our academic life. These awards celebrate the passion, creativity, and the perseverance of our staff. And in doing so, they reaffirm our commitment to student success and transformation. So let me end by saying, when we celebrate the excellence of our academics, we also expand the horizon of our students. We remind them that greatness is within their reach and that their own success will one day serve as a beacon for others. Together, we honor our colleagues who lead the way and recommit ourselves to the journey of transformation, excellence, and hope. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Sheila, for a very clear purpose on why we're here. We're here to celebrate excellence. We are here to be inspired. So, ladies and gentlemen, without wasting any time, it is my privilege to invite to the stage the leader and visionary who continues to champion excellence and transformation in our institution. I shall call upon the Vice Chancellor, Professor Sakela Butlungu, to please come and give us the message of today. Over to you, Prof.
Good evening. When this music started playing, Prof. Osode sitting next to me said, "It feels like we're at the Oscars. It feels like..." Thank you very much, and thanks for making time to attend this very, very important occasion. It's an annual occasion now, and I'm very proud to have witnessed it grow from strength to strength. We do different things here. We honor excellence in teaching. We also unveil the research, the teaching and learning report. And so that's what we're doing today. But first of all, this comes at the back of a successful teaching and learning conference that started earlier this week. Some of us were here from Monday or Tuesday, I was here. And that conference focused on the themes of AI and decolonization. And I suppose that inspired the theme for the dress code for today. And yeah, everything looks thoroughly decolonized. Decolonized. It's very important that we gather in this fashion because teaching is the lifeblood of this institution. It's the lifeblood of this institution. If you want to understand what we do and the commitment that we show in this university, just look at what we do by way of teaching and learning. And I'm very proud to have been associated with all these colleagues and many more that Prof. Sheila has referred to, who have spent all their time, all their hours teaching and doing research in this institution. And I'm very happy, and I can say without fear of contradiction, that our academics take teaching and learning very seriously. Very seriously, and then we can give them a round of applause for that. Seriously. And they do that balancing it with other activities. Balancing teaching and learning with supervision, with research, so that we have a rounded kind of institution. We are a rounded institution. As I settled down there, I got news, so please never tell me something if you don't want me to say it, because the minute I get to know, I'll say it. It doesn't matter. I just want to take this opportunity, therefore, to single out one of those academics who's committed to teaching and learning and research, Dr. Ompashe, who's just as of today received news of his NRF rating C2, and he's here. It's a tremendous achievement for Dr. Ompashe, for the faculty, but for the university, because many more are getting these ratings now. And we can expect, and DVC Taule was telling me, we're expecting more to come through. And I'm very pleased that we create the opportunities, we create the environment for people to thrive in that environment. I also, though, want to take this opportunity and commend the Teaching and Learning Center of the University of Fort Hare. If there's one thing that has remained constant, it's the Teaching and Learning Center in promoting teaching and learning through thick and thin, literally through thick and thin. And I repeat this, had it not been for that center, we probably would not have pulled through the COVID period. And we can give them a round of applause. They did. They support, they promote, they nurture teaching and learning. As a matter of fact, I was also offered an opportunity a few minutes ago that Teaching and Learning Center is available to give me a crash course in AI, and so that I can use it on a daily basis. As we conclude the conference and make these awards, I just want to ask all of us to remember the work, the stellar work that Associate Professor Nkonki played or put into the center, into Fort Hare, into teaching and learning. I think we will miss him because we treasure the work, the contribution that he made to this university. He passed on tragically on the 3rd of May at his hometown in Butterworth, but we shall remember him. I also want to add, there are some other staff members who have passed, but I also want to acknowledge another senior academic who also passed on the same day as Professor Nkonki, and that's Dr. Bidi, a Deputy Dean in Law. Again, another very committed kind of teacher in this university. And again, I just want, if we could remember them this year as we go through these activities and as we go through these awards. Their work will stand out, just like that of many others that are too many to mention here. I just want to do that. This year, again, I was asked to give a message, not a speech. I just want to say developments, new developments that promote, that support, that encourage and nurture teaching and learning. The first one is earlier this semester, we launched the Early Childhood Development Building here in education. And you can see it's, again, a major, major contribution to strengthening teaching and learning, especially to foundation phase education in the country. It's a major thing, and we're very pleased that we managed to do that, and we shall do more. The second issue that's coming up, it may sound minor, but we're now doing a space audit across the university to consolidate all academic departments together, all faculties together, so that we can then create common identities among academics working in the same fields of work, working in the same faculties. And that is going to be a game changer in many ways, and I know consultation is ongoing as we speak. And I think it's going to make working at Forte extremely exciting and pleasurable. The third issue I want to raise, again, to excite us about teaching and learning, is that we are at a fairly advanced stage of doing designs for expansion, or rather extension, of the Alice Library. In addition to that library, and actually adjoining that building, will also be a new research hub. Again, it's something that augurs well for teaching and learning, for research in the university, and I'm very pleased that very, very soon we will be breaking ground for that project. I'm also happy that to announce that we are in the final stages of concluding the appointment of a substantive Deputy Vice Chancellor, Teaching and Learning. I think we now we remain with council. We only need to go to council, and we should go later next week. And otherwise, we're right at the tail end of that process. Again, it will help strengthen teaching and learning. And of course, I must express my gratitude to Professor Osode, who has stepped in following the retirement of Professor Vital. Now, our role, and I've said this, and I might stretch it a little bit, our role as administrators is not to compete with academics. Our role is to facilitate, is to enable, to create the right environment. And I will repeat this. One of the major endeavors in this period has been to stabilize the university so that you can go to class and teach. You can go and do research. You can have activities, seminars, workshops, and conferences with your colleagues. And that's the job I've committed us to do as administrators, and we will do that job. We'll stabilize this university so that we use all the time in the year for what we're supposed to do. And again, I know there's a whole lot of sometimes noise. Just ignore the noise. We will stabilize this university, and we will keep it stable so that you, the academics, you, the researchers, can get on with your business of teaching and learning and research. I want to congratulate the DVC Teaching and Learning and all staff who have put in extra effort to ensure that we are what we are. We teach, we produce strong graduates, and we produce strong research. I also want to congratulate all the winners. I don't know them, but I see the certificates here. Congratulations in advance to them. And then finally, congratulations to the TLC, the interim director and staff, for a brilliant TLC, teaching and learning report. I haven't seen it, but I know it is brilliant. And once again, please enjoy the evening, but let's take all the time to celebrate these colleagues. They are special. They are absolutely special to us. They make us what we are and who we are. Let's give them a good round of applause, and thank you very much.
Ndicela siphinde siqhwabeleni izandla. Thank you, VC, for your message. In true excellence, the University of Fort Hare recognizes development of their academic staff. One of the things that we do is we affiliate with fellowships that promote teaching and learning, that promote development in our academic staff. I would like to call one of our own to share and reflect on his journey as a TAU fellow. What worked best for him, and also guide others that want to be TAU fellows. I would like to call Mr. Hector Katurura to come to the stage to share his reflections with us.
Thank you, Program Director. When I saw this program, I said, Ababantu, how can they make me speak after the Vice Chancellor? Let me take this opportunity to just quickly greet briefly, because I only have got 10 minutes. The Vice Chancellor, the interim Deputy Vice Chancellor Teaching and Learning, that's my lecturer over there from 30 years ago, Professor Osodi. DVC, RPI, members of the deanery, the deans, colleagues, friends. In the last 4 years, I've become an administrator. I like to say ndinguma balan manje. But there's still some sort of, that umbilical cord to teaching and learning has not been quite severed as yet. So each and every year, there's always a reason of one kind or another that I appear at these teaching and learning awards or the conference itself. But let's start here. The Gospel according to St. Matthew, chapter 25, verse 29, from the Good News Version reads as follows. For every person who has something, even more will be given, and he will have more than enough. But the person who has nothing, even the little that he has, will be taken away from him. Now relax, I'm not going to preach. For those in the know, they would have realized by now that this particular scripture became the basis of what came to be known as the Matthew effect, or the Matthew principle, or more formally as cumulative advantage. And it started in sociology, was adopted in education and all sorts of other fields of endeavor. In education, it manifested as showing that early readers, for example, will continue to outstrip their peers as they go to every stage of education. Now, the reason why I'm sharing this, because I don't have time to give a treatise on the Matthew effect or the Matthew principle, is because my talk today is shaped around what I call moments of uneasiness that gave impetus to the work that I did in what I like to term, and I think I flatter myself, my 20-year odyssey as a law teacher. Moments of uneasiness became quite invaluable, and the first moment of uneasiness was this realization that in my class, in the students that I taught, there was this manifestation of this cumulative advantage based on the background, the schools they had been to, and so on. And in particular because I was a law teacher and trying to make efforts to lead my students into this new discourse called law, but if their language proficiency and their reading skills were not up to par, those who were ahead would actually further outstrip those other students. And so it's a problem that I puzzled with and said, I realized that a lot of these students are brilliant. It's just that the cumulative effect from when they started learning to where they are now is actually going to be compounded at this point if I don't find a way to ameliorate that particular effect. So this then shaped what became a predominant way of me looking at how I taught and how I interacted with my students. And this is part of why I would say collaborative learning and even cooperative learning models were an essential part of how I taught. I could go into greater detail about that, but in any case, that was the first moment of uneasiness. Not the first one, but the most predominant one and the most enduring one. The first one was more dramatic for me and quite nerve-wracking. I remember the day, today like it was yesterday, although it was, as you would know, more than 20 years ago. It was a Tuesday, the 1st of April. I'd only started teaching sometime in March, so I'd been teaching for just over 3 weeks. I got to class 9 a.m. in the morning and found my way into the classroom barred by a teenage girl looking very serious, and she asked me, "Could you please just give us 10 minutes? We've got issues we want to discuss as students." I thought, what's going on now? Being considerably taller than her, I looked over her head into the class. It was packed, and what I saw there was not very encouraging, so I decided to retreat. One of the latecomers then whispered to me that, in fact, what was underfoot was that a petition had been started by some of the class members for my removal, and I'd only been at this job for like 3 weeks. I'm telling this story to encourage novice lecturers that you might not have a smooth beginning, but you might still ultimately do something not so contemptible with your work. You have heard that part of the reason why I've been asked to share my reflections here today is because, okay, number one, I did become a Tau Fellow, but that was much later. I'm also a two-time recipient of the Excellence Awards. Firstly in the developing teacher category, and then later as experienced teacher. I think that was in your first year here, VC. And these awards were much smaller. I remember we were at the golf course, the East London golf course. I still have the pictures from that event. But here's the point though, that moment of uneasiness where I had thought about it, I had had a career in corporate, as a corporate legal officer, and I took a conscious decision to go for postgraduate studies because I wanted to become an academic. But almost before I had started, I was facing rejection. The good thing, though, is that it made me realize that I had good intentions, but I was kind of muddling through this thing based on my favorite teachers in law and what they had done before. So this is what actually then encouraged me to register for the postgraduate diploma in higher education and training. And I eventually graduated cum laude because I really loved it. So that then gave me lenses to try to think through my craft and the work that I was doing. So that moment of uneasiness where I faced rejection made me think about becoming more scholarly as a teacher. And as a result, I would say initially I became one who adopted what you could call a constructivist approach because I discovered Piaget. Then after that, I then discovered Vygotsky and his social constructivism. Now, I'll tell you the reason why I loved Vygotsky. There is, in fact, a quote from Vygotsky that is almost synonymous with what we call the Ubuntu principle in African custom. He says, through others we become who we are. And as you might know, the Ubuntu maxim is spelled out, umntu ngumntu ngabantu. And then the reason why this is also important for me is because for the longest time, and I'm getting quite towards the end of my time, I am aware, is that I taught African customary law more than I taught any other subject. It was also another moment of uneasiness. Every text that we had was written either by Rothenbach or Bennett or de Villiers, etc. There was one old text that was written in 1980 by Professor Koyana. That was the only text that had been written by a black indigenous South African. That was number one. But besides that, the very subject itself was framed in such a way that you were always reminded that there's a difference between official customary law and autonomous or living customary law in communities. And I was wondering how I could teach this course in such a way that that bridge is divided. As a result, for my Tau Fellowship, the project that I attempted was to get my students and I, by then I had adopted, among other things, remember I spoke about collaborative learning earlier, what is called the jigsaw learning method. And as you can imagine, like a jigsaw, each person who is helping to complete the puzzle brings in a piece. So what I then did, and I also don't have time, everything has to give way to brevity today. What I then did was to conceive of a project where my students and I would bring in artifacts, whether they be recordings or extracts from books. I remember the extracts from the book Ityala Lamawele, for example, to demonstrate how problem solving is done in African communities. I also was very much aware that African customary law, unlike the common law legal system, is embedded within the cultural concepts of people. And to speak of African customary law, a single customary law in South Africa, is a misnomer because there are as many customary laws as there are ethnic groups. So we actually tried to democratize how we designed our curriculum content by bringing in together all these materials and tried to construct a reader that would use an ancillary to the standard texts so that we can enrich our work. I'm saying this also mindful of the fact that this was an effort to, at the very least, Africanize part of what we were teaching. Remember, there's been a lot of talk of transformative teaching, Africanization, decolonization, and so on. So that was the project that I attempted. I don't have time to share the results. Just lastly, therefore, because I think my 10 minutes is almost up, right? Is that right, MC? All right. So before I leave you, before that, I had been part of a steering committee that designed what came to be known as the grounding program. I loved that very much. That was around 2006, and at that point, I'd only been a lecturer maybe 3 years and so, but I was part of the steering committee. I loved it because of its architecture. Those of you who would remember that it was designed in such a way that the collaborative groups were built from what were called imizi, which is like households, then amakaya, which are homes, then villages, and so on. And there were these cycles, these rhythmic cycles of interaction dealing with proper African issues that were on hand, large issues like climate change, like diversity and identity, and so on. So this has been part of my journey as much as I can share it in 10 minutes. But all of this was started by this discomfort, this cumulative advantage that I saw amongst my students. And I thought, how do we address this? I saw that even the CHE cohort studies in enrollment, in throughput, and so on, showed this again and again and again. I'm hoping that you might take one or two things from what I've just said. Otherwise, it has been a fantastic journey. And I'm still interested in teaching and learning, even as I've become Mabalani. I just wanted to see, how is this thing also engineered from the other side? How do administrators support this kind of work? Otherwise, have a very good evening, and congratulations to all the winners for today. Good evening, everyone.
Moment of uneasiness. Thank you so much, Mr. Katurura, for sharing your inspiring journey as a Tau Fellow. Your insights and dedication are truly motivating. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, we shall have a 10 minutes entertainment break. Over to you, band. Thank you. Sorry, there's an announcement. There's a person who left their keys at the bathroom, Polo Vivo, at the ladies. Please, you can come to us and we'll give you your keys. Thank you.
get out of town. Keep it strapped up when I'm not at home. I should have known one day you'll find out, but you can't go and leave me now. You know that I love you. There's no one above you. Said it the last time, but this is the last time. I don't leave me over, 'cause I can't be faithful, yeah. 'Cause baby, you're my number one. You're my number one. Who is she? What's her name? Want me to know about everything. Fight about this, fight about that. You hang up the phone and you call me right back. See, I'll never be something I'm not. Please don't throw away what we've got. 'Cause we've been together for way too long. I was fooling around, but I'm coming home. You know that I love you. There's no one above you. I said it the last time, but this is the last time. Don't leave me over, 'cause I can't be faithful. 'Cause baby, you're my number one. You're my number one. You're making it hard for me. You're messing up everything. You tell me I got to leave. You said that you came over, came in a Range Rover, left with a hangover. Promise I won't cheat, promise I won't lie, promise I'll let ride. But you can't tell me I can't have you, I won't have that. You know that I love you, there's no one above you, baby. I said it the last time, this is the last time. And don't you ever let me know, yeah, 'cause I can't be faithful, yeah. Ooh, baby, you're my number one, you're my number one. Yeah, you're my number one. You're my number one. Ooh, baby, you're my number one. Yeah, you're my number one. Yeah, you're my number one. Baby, you're my number one. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, baby, you're my number one. Yeah, baby, you're my number one. Ooh, baby, you're my number one. Yeah, baby, you're my number one. Why? You're my number one. Yeah, yeah. So you cannot tell me I cannot have you, I won't have that. You can tell me I can't have you, I won't have that. You're my number one. One, 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 one. One, 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 one. Oh, baby, you're my number. Yeah, yeah. Baby, you're my number one. You're my number one. You're my number one. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Thank you so much. I know I said it. I know I did it. And maybe I went overboard to prove a point. But sometimes my pride gets in the way. Maybe I need some time away to get my head together. Oh, yeah. Maybe this was my last chance. I may never get to hold your hand again. I can say that I'm a better man. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry that I tore your heart apart last night. And I'm sorry if I scarred you again today. I didn't mean to take your dreams and make them seem so trite. I sincerely, completely apologize for doing what I did. Everything you showed me and everything you told me, it never seemed that I would listen, yeah, to anything, yeah. But you've got my attention more than you know. I take it in and I dealt with it, and I waited too long to use it. Oh no, maybe this was my last chance. I may never get to hold your hands again, and I can say that I'm a better man. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry that I tore your heart apart last night. And I'm sorry if I scarred you again today. And I didn't mean to take your dreams and make them seem so trite. I sincerely, completely apologize for doing what I did. I sincerely, completely apologize for doing, apologize for doing. I sincerely, completely apologize for doing what I did. I know I've done you wrong. I sincerely, completely apologize for doing. Ooh, yeah, sincerely, completely apologize for doing. Ooh, I sincerely, completely apologize for doing what I did. I sincerely, completely apologize for doing, yeah, what I did.
Thank you to our lovely band for such wonderful music. And now for the moment that we've been all waiting for the excellence in teaching and learning. In 2025, a call was out to all academics at the University of Fort Hare to submit their portfolios for the 3 categories of our awards. There's a developing teacher, experienced teacher, and the e-learning award. Number of portfolios were received. Faculties sat down and looked at the portfolios and chose the best of the best. Colleagues were required to reflect on what they do and how they do it, and how do they develop themselves to better themselves as academics. In our first category, the Developing Teacher Award, we have numerous nominees. They are here looking beautiful tonight. But before we can name them, I'd like to call upon the stage our Vice Chancellor and our DVC, interim DVC. No, VC, you have to come. A round of applause as they walk to the stage.
All right, thank you to the Vice Chancellor and Deputy Vice Chancellor. So, ladies and gentlemen, we shall start with the developing teachers. So, in the Faculty of Social Sciences, we've got Dr. Tom Chivas. Can you please come up front? Masimqobeleni bethuna. This is excellence that we are talking about. Thank you. All right. In the Faculty of Law, we've got Mr. Daniel Hempel. Thank you so much. In the Faculty of Health Sciences, we've got Tobeka Mtise. Ezandleni bethuna. Lastly but not least, in the Faculty of Management and Commerce, we've got Dr. Sithenkosi Lungisa. Thank you. Now, moving to the experienced teacher, someone who's been in the game for a very long time. And the faculty winner is Prof. Maya van Gert. All right, ladies and gentlemen, now we move to the e-learning excellence. So in the e-learning excellence, we've got 3 people over there. So the first one is Anel Warendal. The second person from the Faculty of Health Sciences, it's Ms. Khomotso Khari. KK. Wanawa principali. Thank you. Last but not least, from the Faculty of Management and Commerce, Dr. Vusumzi Funda. Udokotel. Aishu! Ah! Ayman! All right, thank you, VC, thank you, DVC. We are done with the faculty winners. Before we go to the institutional winners, I think we'll just have an ad break of 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, before we go to the institutional winners. Band, over to you, one song, please. Thank you.
Hello ntombazana, kunjani naku? Kudala ngifuna ukuthetha nawe, nto nje ndiyoyika. Hey, bathathe uthilo bubhodzi, nqanda nabo benditsalatsala, nandifuna wena wethu. Ithi nje ndakubo ndibethwe luvalo, ndiphupha ngawe mna, ndikhwaza igama lakho. Ingqondo ayisebenzi, oh no, konqo alo vala sithandwa. Vala ukango dala ndikume, thatha into yakho. Vala sithandwa, yo thatha konke kudala ndikume, into yam yeyakho. Khawuleza sondela sithandwa, nqanda nabo benditsalatsala, nqanda wena vala sithandwa. Vala ucango kudala ndikume, thatha into yakho. Sandwa, yo thatha konke kudala ndikume, into yam yeyakho. Mama, ndicela undivuse, ngoba andiva mna, andiva wena. Sohlala zizobabili, oma uyathanda nam ndiyakuthanda. Ekudala kudala, ekudala ndizola, dala ndizola wena. Into yam sandwa yeyam, into yakho sandwa yeyam. yeah, yeah.
And now, for the institutional winners, we'd like to call on the stage the VC and the DVC again, and our interim director, Professor Sheila. For the institutional winners, the process started in 2024 and 2023. These were faculty winners. Some of them got their awards last year that are part of the nominees. An extensive process took place. An institutional committee set, led by interim DVC, Professor Osode. The committee saw the excellence of the work that is done by our academics at the University of Fort Hare. It was a tough one for them to choose, I must say, because those portfolios were done so well, so excellently. For those that want to be part of this process, you can contact the TLC. We'll assist with the portfolios. We will start with the Developing Teacher Award. And the nominees are
Teacher Award. Nominees for the Developing Teacher Award: Vusumzi Funda, Faculty of Management and Commerce; Msimelelo Nkohla, Faculty of Education; Unathi Stemela, Faculty of Health Sciences; Zukiswa Dasheka, Faculty of Health Sciences. Nominees for the Developing Teacher Award.
And the winner is, can I get the envelope, please?
Nominees
I've got the envelope. Now we open to see music, please, or drum roll. And the winner is must I say the name? Okay. I want our nominees to breathe. To breathe. Drum roll, please. And the winner is Dr. Vusumuzi Funda.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Congratulations, Dr. Funda. Masimqhobeleni bethu nakukhona. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we move to the experienced teacher. And the nominees are
Nominees for experienced teacher: Kim Schmidt, Faculty of Social Sciences and Humanities; Arthur van Coller, Faculty of Law; Gail Young, Faculty of Management and Commerce; Mariana Olofsson, Faculty of Social Science and Humanities; Balesa Maketa Kosi, Faculty of Management and Commerce; Tendai Chimucheka, Faculty of Management and Commerce. Nominees for experienced teacher:
Sure, Management and Commerce. May I please have the envelope? As we can all see, it's sealed. I also don't know who won. Drum roll. And the winner is Professor Tendai Chimucheka.
And now we move to a different category. It's not an award, but we've got a visitor from the UK. You may have a seat, DVC, VC, and director in the meantime. We've got our partner from the UK, Mr. Christian Rambel, who's an international director for the Advanced Higher Education Academy. I'd like to call upon him on stage just to give us what fellowship is all about and what are they expected to do on their reflections. Thank you.
Well, I wasn't expecting this. I haven't prepared anything. But what I can say is that this week has been memorable. From the moment I touched down to tonight, I've been made to feel especially welcome, and I think the feeling I get from all within University of Fort Hare is that there's a real sense of belonging, belonging amongst the staff, and I suspect that permeates down to the students and the student experience. And ultimately, that's why we are here. That's why we're in the game of education, whether it be pre-16 or tertiary education. The key is to create a sense of belonging. One thing I've picked up on this week in terms of AI, which is impacting on all our lives, is the importance of critical engagement. And that critical engagement spans everything from decolonisation to purely being able to make a judgment, a mature and sensible and intellectual judgment about whether it's right for us, and being able to say when it's not right for us. I think I used reflected on this in my session. I gave a session on the professional standards framework and fellowship, but I'll use it again anyway because I think it's really important. I travel quite a lot in this role. I'm very privileged, and I have a good friend who is a vice chancellor at a university in Jordan, and he works a lot with schools in Jordan, and one school in particular had a real problem with these two young boys who were only about 9 or 10 constantly running away from school. And one day I think the head teacher sat the boys down and he got them in his office and said, "Boys, why do you keep running away from school? Because every time you go home you get punished, and you come back to school and you get punished." And both the boys said, "Well, everything we're told by your teachers we can find for ourselves using AI or Google." So the head had a really good idea, and he made them council of the school committee to challenge what was going on in the classroom. And that's really important, because whilst it's about teaching, it's really about what's going on, what is the learning. And one of the speakers today mentioned about using collaboration and how he embedded collaboration, the chap at the back with the orange and black striped shirt on. Sorry, I've forgotten your name. That's really rude of me, forgive me. But I think that's really important, that we challenge ourselves to look at how progressive we can be in terms of how we learn and teach. What's our model? What's our coherent model of learning and teaching? You know, and you can structure that into 3 simple parts. It's that planning, it's that delivery, and it's that assessment. And then within that, you unpick it. And I think, you know, at Advanced HE, for those of you that don't know what Advanced HE is or who we are a global sector development agency, and we support universities to help them unlock the potential of their people. And we work across 3 key themes. The first is learning and teaching, and aligned to that we have a global recognition scheme for fellows. The second area is around learning leadership and helping leaders in universities be the best they can be, whether they're new to leading, through to our executive programs, whether you're leading in a formal role or whether you are leading in an informal role. And then the third area of our work is around equity, EDI, equity. But you know, the main part, the reason I'm here today is really to acknowledge the relationship that we have with For Her, which stems nearly 10 years before my time at Advanced HE, but many colleagues who are at Advanced HE asked me to pass on their regards. The relationship started in Cape Town, I think, at a conference, and has blossomed since then. And I'm really, I feel real privileged to be able to stand here and talk and present, particularly around the fellowships. And what does fellowship stand for? Well, really, it's a commitment and a passion to learning and teaching, but also to supporting learning and teaching, whether that's a librarian, lab technician, career staff, through to you know, DVC, VC level. It's there to recognise the work that goes on with students in the classroom. We've now over 200,000 fellows spread around the world in over 99 countries across all 4 categories of fellowship. So that's something that I'm really proud of, and it's there to use as a community. And we have communities online, but fellows, and Professor Nkonki used to describe it as, once you've got your fellowship, be proud of it and use your post-nominals, which is a string of letters from the alphabet that you will see after your name. And that's what fellows, that's how you can see fellows from different countries and around the world. But essentially it binds people together around learning and teaching. And fellowship, to be a fellow, you have to align to the professional standards framework, and it's context neutral. So wherever you find higher education, and believe me, you find higher education in some weird and wonderful places, it's relevant to you, and it looks at 3 dimensions. The first is professional values, what you need as a teacher, what are your professional values, and there are 5 statements that sit under that. And professional values also encapsulates the other 2 dimensions, and they're that core knowledge, so your scholarship of learning and teaching, what underpins the things that you do, who are the leading lights, you know, who are the sort of the intellectuals that are also practitioners that you inspire or get your inspiration from. And then the third area is those that I allude to again, the chap at the back, is that core activities. What is it you're doing in the classroom? You know, it's no longer good enough to walk into a lecture with 5 minutes before it starts, stand at the front and tell the class everything you know about that specific subject. You know, that's not teaching anymore. And we need to ensure that there is a place for that. You know, I accept that. But actually, we need to make sure that we challenge ourselves, we reflect on what we're doing, we build up our efficacy so that we can be really critical of ourselves, so that we ensure that the next time we go into the classroom, we're trying something new because of what worked or what didn't work, and we're adapting it. And that's really important. You know, teaching is a series of mistakes. And again, reflecting on one of the award winners who had a bad experience of his students, you know, taking a poll or whether or not they should go to the VC to get rid of him. That actually is a learning experience, and you build on that. And I think anyone that's involved in learning and teaching has been in that position. I mean, crikey, I've been in some, you know, where you just want the stage to swallow you up. So that's part of critical reflection, and that embodies the professional standards frameworks. And just as importantly, it embodies how you apply for fellowship. You have to write in the first person, but then you have to bring in your scholarly intent. And then you submit it to a panel of your peers, which, believe me, it's probably like standing in front of the mirror for the first time and taking all your clothes off. You know, it's not an easy experience. But actually, I don't know where this is going, but actually, the more you do it, the easier it gets. You know, so learning and teaching is a bit like that. You know, the more we do, the easier it gets. And what I mean by that is it's performative, and you begin to take more and more risks, and then you have more and more successes. And that's where students remember their educational experience, you know. So never lose sight of that. So I'm really pleased to be here. I know you've been through a really turbulent year, listening to your Honourable Vice-Chancellor, interim DVC, speaking to DVC for research, meeting Yulene and have a really good conversation with Yulene, Sia and Vu and everybody that I've met. There's so much talent here that capacity, the key is unlocking that and making the use of it, and I'm sure you will. You know, you've got a really committed bunch of staff, and there's a real distinct feeling within the University of Fort Hare, and I've been made to feel really welcome. So I want to pause there, but before I do, as a token of Advanced HE's appreciation, but also recognition of the relationship, but also the value that you've placed on your students and on learning and teaching. I've just got a token of our appreciation from our new Chief Executive, Alistair Jarvis. Thank you very much. Alistair Jarvis joined us 3 months ago. He was the Pro Vice-Chancellor for the University of London. He replaces Alison Johns, who was with us for about 15, 16 years. And when he found out I was coming over, he wanted to mark the occasion by me presenting a certificate to your Honourable Vice-Chancellor and Interim DVC for Learning and Teaching and Director for Learning and Teaching. If you will join me on the stage.
Another round of applause for the recognition the university is getting internationally. Thank you so much, Dr. Christian, for this wonderful honor. And now we've got 2 categories on the fellowship. This is the 2025 cohort that has performed very well. They have proven that they are good teachers internationally. Now they've got the Higher Education Academy recognition. For us, when we did this, we were told that having that, you can be employable anywhere internationally. You are recognized, your craft is recognized in the UK and other nations. We've got 9 achievers for this year, 2025, for the fellowship category. I will call the first 3 to take photos with our executive. A group photo, yes, we'll be taking group photos. And I would like, again, Vice Chancellor, DVC, to come on stage, as well as Dr. Rumble. I'd like to call Natasha Bisenwood, Unatis Demele, and Daniel Hampel. The next group of colleagues I would like to call Zimasa Dubeni, Lindokuhle Kwala, and Anele Mayekiso. A round of applause. The next category is for the experienced teachers, university lecturers. This is a senior fellowship category. I will call Dr. Mary Ford, Dr. Utumisane Ompashe, and Maya van Gent, Dr. Maya van Gent. Sorry, Prof. Maya.
Thank you, colleagues, and congratulations. Masibaqobeleni kwakhona. We're celebrating excellence tonight. We're all about excellence. Ladies and gentlemen, before we go to the last segment of our program, we're almost there. Can the band just give us 1 or 2 songs, just for 5 minutes, and we celebrate our colleagues. Thank you.
How did I ever let you slip away? Never knowing that I'd be singing this song someday. And now I'm sinking to rise no more. Ever since you close the door. If I could turn back the hands of time, and my darling, you'd still be mine. Oh, if I could turn back the hands of time, oh then my darling, you'd still be mine, mine. Funny how time goes by and blessings are missed in a wink of an eye. Oh, why should one have to go on suffering when every day I pray, please come back to me. Oh, if I could turn back the hands of time, oh then my darling, still be mine. Nasekuqaleni wanguthandiwe wami, ndingafuni nokukuva no. Ndicinga ndiva ubuhlungu, ziyajika sekutheni na. Oh, ndisele nencinga kabubusuku nemini, yakwethu kwenze njani phakathi kwam nawe. Yeah, oh, ndicinga ubusuku nemini, yakwethu kwenze njani phakathi kwam nawe, phakathi kwam nawe. Yakwethu kwenze njani phakathi kwam nawe. Mnawethu wenzenjani phakathi kwam nawe ndicinga ngawo ubusuku nemini mnawethu kwenzenjani phakathi kwam nawe
Thank you, Butmonde, for such a lovely rendition. Ladies and gentlemen, we're almost there. Now we're getting to the last part of our program. I shall call upon Professor Sheila to come and present the teaching and learning report. Over to you, Prof. Thank you.
Okay. It's a wonderful privilege for me to present the Teaching and Learning Report of 2025. Where's the video? Is it playing? Okay. So the 2025 report marks the third edition of our institutional reflection on progress on innovation impact in teaching and learning at the University of Fort Hare, and really demonstrates our alignment with our Fort Hare, our strategic plan for 2022 to 2026. The report highlights the key achievements across the faculties, including improved graduation trends across disciplines, recognition of teaching excellence through the Vice-Chancellor's Awards and Fellowships, innovative pedagogical practices that embed technology, decolonization, and student-centered learning, strengthening of international collaborations, staff development and research in teaching and learning, as well as community engagement initiatives that bridge classroom learning with societal needs. In essence, this report is really a record of achievements and a roadmap for sustaining momentum towards our future-ready, decolonized, inclusive university. In the Faculty of Social Sciences, we see a graduation output that rose with 2,339 graduates over the period from 2022 to 2024, innovative boot camps, introducing academic writing, time management, digital learning, Faculty of Management and Commerce, hosting PhD writing retreats, strengthening postgraduate throughput and academic culture, faculty research contributing to global conversations on AI in education with international presentations in Greece and upcoming engagements in Johannesburg, innovative showcased through activities like shopping simulations in microeconomics honors, linking theory to practice, as well as Faculty of Education pioneering isiXhosa English bilingual B.Ed program, expanding through reflective winter schools for top graduates, a commitment to scholarship of teaching and learning, our Faculty of Science and Agriculture. I'm just highlighting that plans underway, the launch of our Faculty of Veterinary Science, as well as community outreach, including career expos for high school learners and green job workshops. The Faculty of Law hosting guest lectures and their excellence in the moot court competitions. Our Faculty of Health Sciences, expanding community-based learning, including the mobile clinics and the Fellopepa Health Train, opening a cutting-edge simulation laboratory in nursing and speech and learning pathology, and then also the Teaching and Learning Center that have expanded technology-enhanced learning initiatives, including our Blackboard training, e-portfolios and integrations, and led quality assurance reviews and developed new institutional evaluation tools. So this is just really the brief highlights, which is in our teaching and learning report. And I'm going to call on to the Deputy Vice-Chancellor, Teaching and Learning, and the VC to receive our teaching and learning report for 2025. VC, this is your last one.
What a lovely report. It is very beautiful. And now, the second last segment of the day is the toast. That duty has been assigned to us as the program directors. Before we do it, there are champagnes in each and every table. You can pop it. I hope everyone has got a glass. Okay. I'd like everyone to request everyone to stand for the toast. I would like us to raise our glasses to an awesome, an amazing, a wonderful teaching and learning week. And also to raise our glasses to innovation that the University of Fort Hare has impacted on, to a wonderful achievement, to the fellows, to the recipients of the awards in all categories, both faculty and institutional winners. Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers.
Before we sit down, I've got news for you. Last year, it so happened that the Excellence Awards were on the VC's birthday. Yes, we sang for you here, Prof. Sorry for that. The birthday is tomorrow. We won't be here to celebrate with him. However, we would like to request everyone to join in as we sing happy birthday for our Vice Chancellor. Lead us, Nat. Happy birthday
to you. Happy birthday, dear VC. Happy birthday to you. Hip hip! Thank you. Thank you, colleagues. You may be seated. Now, we've come to the end. Thank you. Now we've come to the end of our program. We shall call upon the TLC manager, Mr. Ntlabati, to come and do the vote of thanks. Over to you. Thank you, Cecilia.
Good evening, colleagues. Good evening, everyone. I always come carrying gifts. And my gifts are about the theme for today. So if you've honored the theme, I've got a gift for you. The best dressed. We've got 2 gifts for the best dressed. So the team that was selecting the best dressed first selected me. But that would be a conflict of interest, so I can't get the gift. So the best dressed couple, it is a couple. And Dr. Msimelelo Nkohla, you have been... And our second winner of the best dressed is none other than our Dr. Marie Ford. Okay, thank you. I think I don't want to be the one holding you between dinner, so I've got a very short session, which is to say thank you to everyone that is here this evening to share in all the excellence that is taking place in our university. So I'd like to say good evening to everyone first, and on behalf of the University of Fort Hare Teaching and Learning Center and the organizing committee, it is really my honor to extend a warm word of thank you to everyone. A special thank you to our awardees and our fellows. We wouldn't be here today if it was not for you and the excellent work that you are doing. I will also firstly want to thank our university leadership, our Vice Chancellor, Professor Sakele Butlungu. As the Teaching and Learning Center, we are really forever grateful for you always flying the flag and supporting us. We appreciate your support. To our interim DVC, Teaching and Learning Center, Professor Patrick Osodi, thank you, Prof, for your support. To our DVC RPI, Professor Taulem Chimbe, thank you for honoring us today with your presence. And to all the deans, I'd like to mention all of them. Sorry if I pronounced your word wrong, your surname wrong, sorry, to Professor Roos, Professor Jodini, Professor Sibali, Professor Sirius, and Professor Mukele, and Professor Shambare in his absence. We thank you for all your support and for all the good work that is happening in the faculties. To all the deans and directors and deputy deans, Teaching and Learning Center, thank you for all the hard work that is taking place behind the scenes in supporting the colleagues that were awarded today and those that were recognized for the fellowship. We are hoping that we continue to strengthen all the collaborative work and efforts in advancing teaching and learning. We are gratefully to pass our sincere thanks to the CEO of Advanced Higher Education in the UK, Mr. Alistair Jarvis. I hope I'm pronouncing him correctly. And we are thankful also for Dr. Christian Rumble for honoring us in this whole Teaching and Learning Week 2025. To all the HODs, faculty managers, the UFH staff, international delegates that are here today, we thank you for your presence. To the organizing team, all the departments that supported us, from marketing and communication, to finance, to ICT, and everyone in the university, we really appreciate your support. As we conclude the Teaching and Learning Week, I want to thank each and every one of you for your presence and energy that you have brought into this week. Enjoy the rest of the evening and enjoy all the celebrations that are going to take place. And have a lovely dinner. Thank you.
Okwethu ukubhexesha sekuphelile ngoku. Silityelwe ubulelo, siyazibulela nathi njengababhexeshi benkqubo. Siyathemba ubana ngaba siniqhube kakuhle nalonwabela usuku lwanamhlanje. Ndiyabona nibahle, nincumile. Definitely we've done a great job. Yes, a round of applause for the program directors.
Ladies and gentlemen, ours has come to an end. We just want to say thank you. You've been a lovely audience. And now it's time to have fun, relax, unwind, and take care. We shall see each other again next year. Just one announcement. In terms of dishing up, we'll start with table 1, the Vice Chancellor's table, and then go to table 2 and table 3, and then we can also follow. Thank you. Till we meet next time. Sabulela.